I don't like myself anymore. Okay, you just have to accept as you are. You don't have to change for anybody. That's the worst advice anyone could have ever given to me. Let me say something very clear that might feel uncomfortable at first, but I wish someone has told me earlier that if you don't like yourself anymore, then simply just make a new version of yourself. Well, it doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you, but it usually means that you are tired of being the same version of yourself every single day. Because most of the time when people say that I don't like myself, what they really mean is I don't like the way I'm living and I don't know how to change it. And if that sentence feels little close to you, this video is definitely for you. Today we are not doing motivation video. Of course we are not doing love yourself quotes, but we are going to talk about how to create a new version of yourself realistically, gently, and without losing who you are. The very first question is why accepting yourself just as you are sometimes doesn't help. And to be honest, I hear this advice everywhere that just accept yourself as you are perfect as you are, you don't have to change for anybody. Okay, listen, self-acceptance matters. But here is the honest thing that nobody really talks about, that you can accept yourself and still wanting to evolve. If you wake up every single day following the same patterns, reacting the same way, and staying in the same comfort, then wondering why you feel stuck. And that frustration makes sense too. And I realized that in my own life, that I was not clear on what I'm achieving in my life. I didn't have any clear and real goals. I just had hopes that my life will be changing eventually and I will be at a better place somehow. Without me changing anything, with the same routines, same patterns, and same habits, and same excuses. And then I would ask myself that why I am still here. Somewhere I understood that what I am doing. I realized that I'm repeating every single day same thing and expecting my life to be changed. And I realized that I didn't like my life, but I disliked the version of myself that was repeating. Now let's talk about the truth of creating a new version of yourself. Okay, when people hear that creating a new version of yourself, they imagine something to be dramatic. New personality, fake confidence, pretending to be someone else who is doing great in their life. But this is not what it is. Creating a new version of yourself doesn't mean you have to be a stranger. It's about stopping the behaviors that are keeping you small. I will give you an example about my old version that avoided discomfort, waited for motivation, and stayed in her head instead of taking real actions towards the goals, toward the changes. But the new version of myself didn't magically feel confident. She just started acting differently, even when it felt awkward. And this part is very important, that you don't become confident and then change. The change comes first and then the confidence gets up. Now let's come to the real point, that why you feel disconnected from yourself. A lot of you tell me that I know I have so much potential, I know I want to do so much into my life, but I don't know where to start. And here is what's actually happening. You are mentally living your future version of yourself, but physically you are doing nothing. And that gap creates self-doubt and self-dislike. I used to ask people that I don't know why I feel stuck and I don't know where to start. But the answer was very simple and uncomfortable. I was not clear. I was not intentional. And the main part, I was not honest with myself. I also used to watch so many self-improvement videos just like you are watching it right now. But At some point, I decided to change finally. Learning from those videos, I started journaling not aesthetically but with the real pattern. I asked, what do I keep doing every day? What I'm avoiding? What habits are stopping me from becoming who I want to be? Not in my mind, but on the paper. Because when you write on the paper, you see everything clear. Everything is clear there. You are going through the pages and you are now thinking how I will be able to bring the actions towards it. Here is the practice that changed me everything for me. I stopped asking, what do I feel like doing? I started asking, what would the highest version of myself will do? Not the perfect version, not the aesthetic version, but the realistic and evolved version. When I didn't want to work, what would she do? When I wanted to scroll, what would she choose instead? When I felt insecure, what would she tell to herself? And to be honest, you don't need to know everything about her. Just one thing at a time. One habit to stop, one habit to start, and one habit that you can continue. And that's it. That's how the change becomes sustainable. Now the next part is why change feels emotional. And that's completely normal. Well, nobody really talks about this part briefly, but I have realized that creating a new version of yourself, bringing changes into your life, comes with lots of grief. Because you are letting go of your emotional version, your old coping mechanism, familiar routines, even parts of your identity. And sometimes you miss the old version. You really do. Believe me or not, growth is not linear. You will have those days where you fall back, but instead of spiraling, ask yourself that what would my higher version would do on that bad day? She wouldn't quit. She would zoom out. And that's the key, my friend. Fall in love with the process, not the outcome. The confidence, the clarity and peace, they will come while you are becoming her. Now let's jump to the practical step that you can start today. Let's make this real. Tonight or tomorrow, do this. Write down the version of you that feels stuck. That should include habits, patterns, and routines. Then the second thing, write down the version of you that feels aligned. How she moves and chooses and reacts. Pick one daily action that bridges the gap. Don't work on the 10 journal prompts. Just choose the one. And please stop announcing your transformation to everybody. Do it quietly. Let your life speak it. If you still have not decided any goals, anything that you are going to do in 2026, I have made a whole video on how to rebrand yourself in 2026. What have I done to do in my 2026? You can just check it out. And honestly, if you're not liking yourself right now, not your life right now, it doesn't mean that you are broken. It means that you are ready to stop repeating, ready to choose differently, ready to become someone whom you actually respect. You don't need to rush. You just need to start. Start right now. And if this video really felt real with you, sit with it, journal with it, and let me know in the comment section if you need anything from me. And I'm really glad that you are here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.